If you're just joining in, we've started and I'm just sending the stream to YouTube. So if you need to replay, I'll be able to share the link with you later on. All right, awesome. We are now live on my YouTube channel. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, can someone just help me confirm you can see my video and my screen and you can still hear me loud and clear?
We are hearing you loud and clear, and we are sharing your screen.
Awesome, thank you for that confirmation. All right, so this is the WooCommerce Lagos meetup. We made at least once in a month, and our goal is basically to, share and learn about e-commerce. We normally use WooCommerce, which is an e-commerce platform. And if you don't know, WooCommerce happens to be the most popular. WooCommerce happens to be the most popular e-commerce platform in the world, and there are WooCommerce meetups across the globe, and Lagos being one of the locations. All right, for those of you who don't know me, Son Dukafia is my name, and you can reach out to me. My handle across all social media platforms is at Sukafia, which is spelled S-U-K-A-F-I-A. And the phone number there is my WhatsApp number, so feel free to message me on WhatsApp and ask questions. And I normally would like to tell people that for me, when I do events like this, it doesn't just end with what we cover here. It continues after this. The WooCommerce Lagos community, we have an active WhatsApp group where people ask questions where they get stuck. So feel free to save my number and message me after the meetup and let me know that you were here, you attended, and I'll be able to add you to the WhatsApp group where you can ask follow-up questions. And also feel free to reach out to me personally if you have any questions. My email is simply email@sondukafia.com, and my website is sondukafia.com, so you can go there to learn more about me. Okay, so a few things to know. This is the official WooCommerce Lagos meetup, just in case someone shared the event and you're not really sure who is putting this together. This event is powered by WooCommerce. So this is an official WooCommerce meetup. It's sponsored by Ugohost. Ugohost is our hosting partner, and they've been partnering with us to get this done. All right, so we are supposed to be recording, but we are not recording because we are actually live streaming on YouTube. So that serves as the recording, and will also enable us to share the link with people who wish to, replay it. All questions are welcome. If I'm doing anything and you feel it's not clear, you feel lost, feel free to indicate and ask questions at any point in time. You can also just write down your questions and ask them at the end of my presentation, depending on what you're comfortable with. All right, the interesting part, our focus for today is how to create your first online store. And the target audience is basically people who before now have not been able to create and launch an online store. We'll be learning how you can create an online store with WooCommerce, which I said earlier is the world's most popular e-commerce platform. So when you learn this, you can actually know that you'll be learning a valuable skill, a skill that is valuable globally, and wherever you are in the world, the software you're learning how to create your online store with is actually involved. Because if you look at the statistics online, WooCommerce powers more online store than any other e-commerce platform you can think of. All right, so WooCommerce is simply a flexible open source e-commerce solution built on WordPress. So if you've been using WordPress before now, the interesting part is that WooCommerce is a WordPress plugin. How it works is that you just install the plugin and it brings tons of e-commerce features to your website. So it has the shopping cart functionality. It has the ability to add shipping system. You can add different shipping methods, and it also adds the functionality to add payment methods. So there are different payment methods, from online payment methods to platforms like Paystack, to other payment methods like bank transfer, payment on delivery, and so on. With WooCommerce, I normally would like to say that any feature you can think of already exists, because aside from what is available in the core WooCommerce plugin, because WooCommerce is so popular, there are tons of extensions, that allows you to extend the functionality of WooCommerce. So you can sell products like physical products, and you can sell digital products. Digital products are simply like online courses, digital downloads. You want to sell music, basically anything digital you can think of. You can sell bookings. Like on my website, people can register to book a session with me, and they can select the date or time they wish to book. So what you can do with WooCommerce. All right, please help me mute yourself. It's going to help me mute yourself, everyone. Thank you, because it's going to be a bit.
No, over record your video. Can you?
Sorry, guys, I've muted that. All right. So there's literally nothing you can't sell with WooCommerce. Physical product, digital product, you can sell bookings. And one of the ones I love is subscriptions. You can sell subscriptions. So a product that people subscribe to, and it just automatically takes recurring payment. You can even sell a regular product and even offer the ability for people to pay in installments, which is amazing. All right, so WooCommerce is a completely customizable e-commerce platform for entrepreneurs worldwide. What stands WooCommerce out from other platforms is that it's completely customizable. That basically means it has tons of features. That basically means it gives you complete control and freedom. And this is where it gets interesting. Where it gets interesting is that I'm going to, close this slide and simply get in, and we see how you can actually build an e-commerce platform, how you can build an online store, how you can create your first online store with WooCommerce. And for me, that's always the interesting part. Basically, because I love to show people how it's done than to talk about how it's done. All right. So if you're familiar with how WordPress works or how websites in general work, first, to host any website, be it a static website, a dynamic website, you need web hosting and domain name. And for those who don't understand what those terms are, web hosting is like is the storage. It's simply where all your website files go. So let's say your images, the HTMLs, the different scripts on the side, the videos, your web hosting server is simply where all of them are stored. So in the real world, web hosting is simply like the house, which houses all your properties you have in the house. And the domain name is simply the address. So in the real house, the domain name is how people locate your house. So domain name is like the address, but the internet, the domain name is like your address on the internet. So people type in your address on the internet, which could be ugohost.ng or ugohost.com. And then they simply come to your website. For them to be able to see this website, all the contents here, this logo, the different text has to be served somewhere, and web hosting is simply where they are served. So like with every other platform, to host a WordPress website or to host a WooCommerce website, you're going to need a domain name and hosting. For an online store, the domain name is simply going to be the name of your store. All right, just like for my personal website, that my domain name is sondukafia.com. For your store, your domain name is simply going to be the name you choose, the name you want people to use to access that store. All right, so to get a domain name and hosting or web hosting, you're going to do that. You're going to do that with a web hosting company, and Ugohost is one of them. It happens to be the most popular and one of the most reliable ones in Nigeria. Okay, so when you come to Ugohost, which you can do by going to ugohost.com or ugohost.ng, that's going to take you to one place. What you want to do is to check out the different hosting options. So if you come here or even down here, you can see the different hosting options. If you click get started here, it's going to show you all the plans for the cPanel hosting, which is simply the shared hosting. Now, one rule that I normally will tell people when you have to do with hosting on any platform, always go for the annual plan. The reason is simple. It saves you money. For instance, here, if you notice that if you go for the annual plan, you're going to save 20%, which is huge. That aside, it's quite difficult to have to be renewing every month. So every month you have to, have to go to be renewing this, which can be crazy to manage. And any month you forget, your website is going to go down. I've actually not tried monthly payment for hosting before, and I've been doing this for a lot of years, over 5 years, and that's always been the annual option. So for every host, when you go to the hosting plan, you're going to see different options. Like this, you see the Premium, Pro, the Deluxe, and the Supreme, and all of them are going to first show you the storage space you're going to get. So the 6 gig of web space here, what they call web space, is basically the total amount of files your website can contain. And depending on your site, you want to get as much space as possible. And the bandwidth is like, it controls the total number of people that can access your site at a certain point in time. I don't know if at times you've noticed that maybe people are trying to register for JAMB or WAEC or in any of the government portal. I noticed that at the point it becomes unaccessible, basically because a lot of people are trying to access it. That's always caused by the site having limited bandwidth. So you always want to go with a plan that gives you as much of this as possible. All right, and for all of these options, you can simply move your mouse cursor over the high and then it's going to give you more information about them. Subdomain is anything before your main domain. So for instance, if I have example.sondukafia.com, anything here before the sondukafia.com is what they call subdomain. And add-on domain is the number of additional domains that you can host on this website. And they're saying here that we're going to get a free .ng domain, free SSL certificate, which is what makes website to have the HTTPS, the secured icon on the address bar, unlimited emails, unlimited databases. Database is simply where the contents of the website go to. All right, so that's it on that. So if you also go to this, they have another hosting, which is WordPress hosting. And when I talk about the two different hosting, I normally like to explain that it does not mean that WordPress cannot be hosted on the cPanel or the shared hosting plan. The difference is simply that this other hosting environment is designed specifically for WordPress. And when you're using a web hosting environment designed specifically for WordPress, it means that hosting environment is optimized to make WordPress run faster. So if you're running a project that is important to you, it's good to use WordPress hosting because you can be sure that the hosting environment is optimized to make WordPress run and load faster, which is what is recommended for building an online store or platform like e-commerce platforms will require more resources. So if you're doing a project that is actually a real project, I recommend coming to hosting and then selecting the host your WordPress website option, which takes you to this page, the WordPress hosting option. And one of the key things you need to know about this plan is that it's powered by AWS. Let me see. I think that should be somewhere on this page. Yeah, you can see here, powered by AWS. And AWS is simply Amazon Web Services. What that basically means is that your website will actually be hosted on Amazon data centers, because most people say Nigerian hosts are not reliable, but they don't understand that we are in the age of cloud computing, where hosting companies can leverage cloud infrastructures, or of the big guys like Amazon, like Ugohost is doing here. All right. So this is actually a very reliable web hosting. And like I said, always go for the annual option. So click pay annually. At first, you're going to save 20%, which is big. And then you're also going to save yourself from the stress of having to regular monitor and renew these monthly. All right. So this is it. Once you click pay annually, you're going to see the different plans. And there's the beginner, the standard, and the standard plus. For every hosting plan I use, I normally don't like starting with the starter, with the basic option. I think it's just personal sentiment, but I think the best plans and the best pricing, the best value always starts from the next plan. But feel free to choose anyone. The good thing is that you can always upgrade, and it basically takes a click of a button to upgrade. So you can start small, and as your business grows, as your online store grows, you upgrade, which is one of the beauty about running a business, starting small and simply growing. All right. So now what we are trying to do first is to show you how to get domain and hosting, because you're actually going to need that to be able to create your first online store. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to just do is to go ahead and click on choose plan, just to walk you through how to do this for the benefit of those who are not familiar with the process. So once you click that, it's going to tell you register a new domain name, and this is where you enter what you want to use for your store, the domain name you wish to use. So I could just call this Woo Demo, and then here is where you select the extension. The extension is like .ng, .com, .net, .whatever. So just come here and put com, and then you're going to see .com, .ng, or whatever it is you want. For all of Hugo Host hosting plan, one interesting thing is that they give you a free .com.ng domain name at no additional cost. So once you enter the domain name you wish to use, it does not have to be .com.ng, it can be .com. And once you do that, you just click check. It's going to check if that domain is available. The reason being that the domains are just like phone numbers, they are unique. So two people cannot use the same domain name. So first it has to check, the platform needs to check if that domain is free or someone else is already using it. If it's free, it's just going to show you the domain is available and then the cost of the domain. But you see that once we add this to the card, we are not going to be charged this rate. It's actually going to be free. All right, so you click continue, and then it should take you to your shopping cart, and then it shows you a summary of your order. And then it shows you your plan, your billing cycle. You can see this is annually, and it comes with a free domain. And then here it asks for your site information, which you can ignore. This is so they can install WordPress for you, but I'm just going to show you how to install WordPress yourself. So you can ignore these, or you can enter your details and get WordPress installed. But let's assume we don't put this. I can show you how you can do it, because this does the installation for you automatically. But let's go ahead and add this. So let's say, what's your site name? It could just be something like Woo Demo. What's the username you want? So it could be something like Mr. Woo. Don't use admin. It just makes your site very easy to be accessed by hackers, because they can guess that they know most people like to use admin. So the only thing they will try to guess will be your password. And then the next thing, you enter your password. And you scroll down. Any of this is going to cost more. So you just want to ignore that, except it's something you need. But I don't think you do, except you find that you need any of these other options. So this is Sitelog website security, which helps add extra layer of security to your website. And this is CodeGuard website backup, which helps back up your website. So I don't need any of those extra add-ons. I'm just going to leave it at the default features. And then once I check and I don't need any other thing, I'm just going to click on the continue button here. And it's going to take us to the checkout, where we can go and complete our order. So you can see what you want to do here. Promotion, it says enter a promo code. You can enter Woo, which is our community code, which gives you some discount on your order. So this is 18,000. You can enter Woo and then click validate code. And you can see that has discounted that. It's going to apply some discount to your card and then help save you some money, which you can use for airtime and then thank us later. All right. So once you check and everything is okay, you just scroll down it's going to ask you, if you're creating your store for the first time, it means you don't have an account on Google. So what you have to do here is just to fill in your details, the first name, last name, email address, phone number, billing address. And once you have all this information entered, your secret question and all that, the next thing you want to do is to, at the bottom here, you select the payment method you want to use. There's Paystack, this Flutterwave, and there's this other new guy. So once you do, and then you click on checkout, the next page is going to show you is just where you can enter your card information and make payment. And I can tell you that it's actually secured because this company, Paystack, Flutterwave, they process the payment. And after that, in a few minutes, your hosting is going to become active. Now, before this meetup, I had followed this step and then I had purchased a hosting account that I want to use for this. So I will not be purchasing this, but this is the last step, just basically to click checkout and make payment, and that is all. All right. So one thing you're going to see is that immediately you click checkout and enter your payment information and the payment is successful, Google is going to send you email containing your hosting information. So you can see here, this is going to send you a domain registration confirmation email to confirm that your domain has been registered, and it's going to send you your web hosting details. So if you open this, you're going to see your site login information. And once you scroll down, you're going to see a very important information, which is the cPanel URL. And by the way, Google is one of the very few hosting companies across the world that their WordPress hosting offers cPanel, which is very great because cPanel gives you access to tons of other features. And one of the popular ones people use is free email. So you can create unlimited free email with cPanel. But on most WordPress hosting platforms, you normally will have to buy email, maybe like Google Workspace and all that, which to some people can be pricey. All right. So one important information you need to take note of is the cPanel URL. And cPanel is more like your hosting dashboard where you can do things like install WordPress and so on. Okay. So you can also access your cPanel directly from Google Hosts. If I go to, let me just empty my card since we are done with this demo. If I go to googlehost.com and I click on my account, it's going to ask me to log in. And if I log in, so this is just the information you entered on before the checkout. It's going to ask you to create an account. So the information you enter, the username and your password is what you're going to use to log in. So if I come and I click on services, it's going to show me my hosting plan. So you can see this is the one I registered for this demo. And if I click on that, I just want to show you another way you can easily access your cPanel. If I click on that and then I scroll down a bit, it's going to say cPanel. One thing you want to make sure is that your hosting plan shows active before you do anything, because it could take a few minutes for it to become active after you purchase it. So once it's active, you go down, you can see cPanel. If you click here, it's just going to log you in directly into your cPanel without asking for username or password. Or you can also use the details that Google sent you in the email. You just copy. Normally, the cPanel address for any website that is using cPanel is the domain name /cPanel. And then you can use the login details that Google sent. So I can copy this and paste, and I can copy the password. And whatever you do, don't give out your cPanel details, because anyone who has access to this can wipe your site. They can do anything with your website. I'm just showing this because this is just a domain I purchased basically for demo purpose. So don't give access to your cPanel details to people you don't trust. So I'm just going to click on login, and you can see that logs me in. So either you can copy the information in the email to access and use it to access your cPanel, or you can just go directly through Google Host, so you don't have to type in the username and password. So once you access your cPanel, or when Google sends you the details, the first thing you want to do is to see if your website has okay.com.ng is to see if your website is loading anything. If it's not loading anything, if it's empty, what you want to do is to go and install WordPress. So I'm going to show you how you can manually install WordPress. So you can, if you scroll down, and you're going to see where under Softaculous apps installer, you're going to see WordPress. Now, take note, before you install WordPress, you're only installing WordPress if Hugo does not install it for you. But if Hugo has installed WordPress for you, you don't need to do that. And where you also have to install WordPress yourself is if you're also going for, if you're also going for the other hosting plan, let me show you. Now, not the WordPress plan, this one, the cPanel hosting, which is the same with this one that says get web hosting. This and these are the same thing. They take you to exactly the same page. So where you need to install. So if you're using this, you're going to, this does not come with WordPress pre-installed. So you're going to, any of this plan, you're going to install WordPress yourself. The WordPress hosting is supposed to come with WordPress pre-installed, but sometimes Google may not install WordPress for you. So you may also have to install it yourself. All right. So to do that, you simply access your cPanel, which I've said you're going to get the details in your email, and you can also do that directly through Google. So once you are there, just scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you're going to see WordPress under Softaculous Apps Installer. If you don't see it, just search up here for Softaculous. Once you type soft, you should see it, and then it's just going to take you to it. But since it's just right here, it's always right here at the bottom. Just click on WordPress. Or if you're like, if you're from Ghana, like my Ghana friend, just say WordPress. So you click install now. And one thing I normally like to tell people, it says in directory, take this, always take this out and leave it empty. What this does is if you say in directory WP, it means WordPress is going to install, will be installed on your site /WP, which means someone needs to go here to see your site. You want people to access your site here without having to go to /WP. Where this is useful is that if you want to have multiple installations, if I do test here or demo, WordPress will not be installed on my main domain. It's just going to be installed in this directory, in this subfolder, which means I can have something else on woocommerce.com.ng and something else on woocommerce.com.ng /demo. I hope that makes sense. All right. So we leave everything by default how it is, and we empty here. We scroll down and you can give your site a name here, or you can also always do this within WordPress itself. So it's not really important if you do it here or within WordPress. So you can say my test site, but like I said, we can change all of these within WordPress itself. So let's say my first online store. I just say shop now. And you put your admin username. Like I said, always make sure that this is not admin. So let's use Woo demo. And let's try I'm not sure if I use this as a password, if I'll be able to remember, but your whole yes, if I forget, you're going to help me. So I'm going to use Woo demo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to trust you guys to be able to remind me of this. So someone please write down our details. Our username is woodemo and our admin password is woodemo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trusting you guys that someone will remember that. And what you always want to make sure where it says admin email is to put your active email address. Why this is important is that if you forget your site password, which is going to be the admin password, you are going to be sent an email to that address to be able to reset your password. So I'm just going to use my Gmail and it says Teams. Don't worry yourself about all these. We are going to do that within WordPress itself. So once you've done this and then you've checked that everything is okay, just click on install. And in a few minutes, it's going to install WordPress. And once you have WordPress installed, it means you have a website that can be accessible from anywhere in the world. So let's give it some time to install WordPress and let's see if we can access our site. Typically, it takes about a minute to 2 minutes. The bottom line is that it doesn't take more than 5 minutes to install WordPress. All right, so while we wait for this to finish installing, how has it been so far? Are the steps clear? Is there anything that is not clear? Let me know. Awesome. So congratulations. The software was installed. So that means WordPress has been installed. And if we go to our website now, woocommerce.com.ng, now this is what it was before. It was empty. There was nothing. But look at it now. It says my first online store, hello world. So when you install WordPress, the default theme with empty content, with nothing, is just installed. So now we have a website. This is accessible anywhere in the world. Anyone visit, they are going to see this, and they're going to see this default WordPress post. But now it doesn't look cool. It doesn't look beautiful. It doesn't look like a store. And that's basically because we've not started customizing it. And once we customize it, you're going to see the difference. So on every WordPress website, to access your dashboard, the site admin, what you simply do is to do your site.com or .com.ng or whatever your domain is /wp-admin. And this is going to take you to what is known as the backend, what is known as the WP admin, which is simply where you customize your site. Okay, just to be sure you were listening, can someone help us with our login details? I said that you guys were going to remind me of our login details. So does anyone remember what's our username and what's our password? Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
All right, so does anyone remember our username and password?
Demo.
Sorry?
Woo demo.
Okay, Woo demo. And what's our password? Have you all forgotten our password?
Woo demo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, someone says it's Woo demo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your password is like the key to your house. If you forget it, it means you're sleeping outside. Okay, that is not working. I think I copied it. Okay, capital Woo. Let's see. Okay, so Woo demo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see this is our site dashboard, which is where we are going to do all the changes we need to do. All right. So the first thing we want to do is to come to plugins and add a plugin. And the reason we are doing that is that I said that WooCommerce is a WordPress plugin. So to turn our store to an online store, we are going to need the WooCommerce plugin. So let's go to plugins, add new. And look for WooCommerce. We just have to search for WooCommerce here. And you can see here, WooCommerce. WooCommerce is the world's most popular open source e-commerce solution. And all what we have. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Please, everyone, help me mute yourself. Thank you.
Everyone keep muted.
All right. Okay, so we just need to click install now and give it a few seconds. Everything with WordPress basically just takes a few seconds to get done, and the changes happen immediately, which is the best part. So we click install now, and then we allow it to install. And after that, what we want to do is to activate that makes the plugin that we had installed to become active. I'm beginning to think if there's an issue with my connection because this is taking longer than it should. Typically, this takes just a few seconds. Let me go to install plugins. I'm doing that basically because I know that if there's a connection issue, it will still be showing as installing when it had already finished installing. Okay, so it hasn't finished installing. So let's try that again. Add new. WooCommerce.
But where do I find the hypotenuse?
Yep. All right. So it has finished installing. So I think it does need at the moment. You can see once it's finished installing, this changes to activate. And if you go to your install plug, you can activate it right here, or you can go to your installed plugins and you're going to see WooCommerce right here. So let me go back to our website because I want you to notice a few things. Our website is before WooCommerce, so you can also see the difference after WooCommerce. Now, a little tip with WordPress. Now, when you're building a WordPress website, one of the first things you need to know is what are you trying to achieve? And then you want to look for two things. One, a plugin that has the features that you need. So our goal is an online store, an e-commerce platform, and WooCommerce gives us that with WordPress. And then something else that you need to know about is the theme or template, and that basically simply controls the layout of our website. Okay, so now if we go to appearance and we go to themes, which is where we see the theme that is controlling the website layout, you're going to see that this is 2022. By default, every WordPress website comes with a default theme called 2022. So it's like every year WordPress releases a new theme for that year, a new default theme. So you can see this is 2021, which was in vogue as a 2021, would have been the default theme as a 2021. So this is 2022. I'm showing you that because the two things we are going to be working in with throughout this is just going to be our theme and the WooCommerce plugin. Right. Okay. Oh my God.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was muted.
All right, sorry. Sorry, I hope you're okay. All right, let's move forward. Okay, so we're going to go to WooCommerce and then we're just going to activate it, which just makes it active. And let's do that and see. So it's going to give us what we call the WooCommerce setup wizard, which basically just helps us set up WooCommerce. So you're going to see, all right, so first thing it wants us to do is to tell us about our store. So does our store have a physical address? And what address do you want to use for your store? So we can just impute something. So I'm just going to say, okay, let me impute an address. So I'm going to go with the Lagos address. It's in Lagos, and this is my email address. And it asks, get tips, product updates, and inspiration straight to your inbox. You want to subscribe to newsletter from the WooCommerce team. If it's something you're interested in, you leave this checked. If you are not, you can simply uncheck this and you click continue. And at the bottom, there's also an option to skip the setup step, but it's not, I don't recommend it. The reason I don't recommend it is that going through this allows WooCommerce to set up the necessary pages needed for your store. So the store needs pages like the cart page, the checkout page, and if you skip this, you're going to have to set those up manually, which is actually easy to let WooCommerce do it for you. So I'm going to enter these and then just click continue. And This information here is not really shown anywhere on your website, so you could even use a personal address. So once you've done that, you want to click on continue, and then it's going to take you to the next step of the setup wizard. It's asking you if you want to subscribe to send information to WooCommerce. You can just say no thanks, or you can click yes, count me in. There's really no harm with that. What it just does is that WooCommerce uses your store data to try to improve the software and get it insight into how people use WooCommerce. So that's what industry does your store operate? So you could just select any of these that's applicable to you. But this does not Sorry guys, I hope you can hear me. My connection dropped with literally no warning, and I had forgotten to turn on my backup internet. So sorry about that. I'm just going to wait for a while for the main internet to come back up, because I had to restart the router, since that is stronger than this. So in a few seconds, the router should be off, and we'll get back to Meetup. All right, so you saw, so I'm just going to switch connection, which means I could be inactive for just a moment. We are still together. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, awesome. So let me go ahead and share my screen again, so we can go back to what we were doing. All right, so this is right where we were. And so you just basically select the category that applies to your store, and you click on continue, and it's going to take you to the next page. And it asks you, what do you want to sell? Physical products. Quick tip, WooCommerce is basically trying to upsell to you here on this page. So it's asking you, are you interested in subscriptions, membership, bookings? And WooCommerce basically have extensions that helps you add this functionality to your store. So if you tick this, it's going to actually take you to buy the extension that add this extra functionality. But for a basic store, you don't need this extension. So you could just, it doesn't matter what you select here. It's not actually going to affect the features of your store. It's just that if you select the ones that requires a premium extension, you're going to have to buy it. So just let this be at what it is. And it doesn't matter if you select downloads, as you will see, we'll still be able to, we'll still have access to downloads functionality. This is just probably just going to give access. Let WooCommerce know that, oh, people are really using WooCommerce for physical products and downloads. But like I said, it doesn't matter if this is checked or not. What you want to do next is to click on the continue button, and it's going to take you to the next page where it says, tell us about your business, and it's asking for the number of products you want to list, 1 to 10. All this doesn't matter, but you could just give a data that has to do with the number of products you want to sell. Are you currently selling elsewhere? It depends. If you're selling on another platform, you can just select the option that applies, but this is not really important. Are you setting up for a client? Just click continue. Again, those are just for WooCommerce to get an insight into how people are using WooCommerce. And this says add recommended business features to my site. Now, let me expand this so you see what is adding. This basically just add plugins to your site. So you see this adds MailThread, which is a newsletter and a bit of an email marketing extension. And this is Google Listings and Ads. So if you need this, if you think these are things that you're interested in, just keep them checked. But if you're not interested, just untick this and it's just going to take that out, and then you click on continue. And one of the things I'm going to do in the future is that I'm going to, host a meetup that we are looking at how to use MailThread and how to use Google Listings and Ads. And what Google Listings and Ads does is to get your product shown on Google free listing. That's the Google shopping listing. And you can also use it to run ads that show your product directly on Google, paid ads. All right, so we are just going to click on continue, and it takes us to the next step, which is the last step, which asks us to select the theme we want to use. And you can see this is our currently active theme. I'm not going to select the theme because I want to actually show you how to select a theme directly on WordPress for the benefit of those who are using WordPress for the first time. Since everything you do in WordPress is not going to show you this setup menu, I think it's better that you know how you can actually select the theme within WordPress itself. So I'm just going to click continue with my active theme, so it's going to let us continue with our active theme. But later on, we'll be installing this storefront theme, and I'll be explaining why. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and this is completed and take us back to our site dashboard. And with that, we're going to see that our website is going to have all right. So there's one more step, and I think this is because we have the Jetpack plugin installed. So if you see this, you can just approve, or you create a free WordPress.com account. And I think that is also because I have an active WordPress.com account. So this, let me explain the last step because I wasn't also expecting that. So once we are here, you've seen that it shows us the WooCommerce home menu, which basically just this has a quick checklist of the things we need to do or that we've not done that we just need to cover up. And the next menu, you see we have orders here, which is where we are going to be seeing all the orders that we have on our store. And let me go ahead and dismiss this notice from WP Super Catch, since it's really not, it's just telling us to set up this, which we don't want to get into now. So I'm going to click this. Now, I'm going to go back to plugins and explain a few things. When you install WordPress, depending on how you install it, you find out that some of these installers, they had some plugins, extra plugins on your site. And one of the ones that was added to us is Jetpack and WP Super Catch. depending on where you install it, they may not come. They are not compulsory to use, but Jetpack is one plugin that I like to use basically because of the extra features it has. For instance, it has a feature called Site Accelerator, which helps make your site images load faster, and it comes with tons, of other features. WP Supercache is like a caching plugin that basically helps make your site load faster. So these could be features that you need or you may want to use, but since they are not directly related to what we want to do, I'm just going to deactivate them for now until we are able to do a meetup that covers how they are used. But you can also Google how to use them and you see them. I want us to focus solely on WooCommerce. For the last step that involves connecting our site to through Jetpack to WordPress.com, that was also because we had the Jetpack plugin installed, which normally may not come depending on how you're installing. Normally, when you install WordPress just comes with this. We just come with this Akismet plugin and nothing else. But the installer we use Jetpack and WP Supercache. So let's just deactivate them and work with WooCommerce normally it should be. All right. So if you go to our dashboard, and you can see that a new menu has been added, the WooCommerce setup. And if we are here, we can see that we have the WooCommerce as a menu, and we have products, and we have analytics and marketing. All these are added by WooCommerce. WooCommerce products, analytics, and marketing. Marketing is where you can create coupons to give people discount coupons on your site. And overview here basically just points you to take advantage of some marketing tools that WooCommerce has. So this is, you see recommendations for extensions, that could help your store. Analytics is going to give you an analytics for the sales for products, your revenue, orders. If you're selling products that have variations are like color, let's say green, blue, large, small. Analytics for each variation, for categories, for coupons, for taxes, for downloads, if you're selling digital downloads, for stocks. Let's say if you have a product that has a stock of 20, 50, it's going to show you analysis for stock and all that. All right. So the first thing we want to do, let's go back to the page we had open and refresh just to see what our site looks like, and then we'll continue. So you've seen our site hasn't changed much, but if you notice at the top, you see that there are new pages. There's now a cart, checkout, my account, and shop page. With WooCommerce, the shop page displays all the latest products you added to your shop. You see now there are no products because we've not added any. My account page is where customers go to, manage their orders on the site. So they can see their order history, they can update their billing information, their shipping information. Checkout is where people check out, make payment. Card is a page that shows people all the content of their card. We're going to go into this when we add products to our site. So our site layout has not changed, but we want the layout to change. We want it to look like an online store, which is one of the things you need to understand with WordPress. The way to do that is to pick a theme, that is designed for WooCommerce, a theme that is designed for an online store. And what we are going to do is to go to theme and then install a theme. In WordPress, to install a theme, you want to go to appearance, which is just by the sidebar here. You go to appearance here and you click on themes. And once you click on themes, it's going to show you the default one. These are the ones WordPress installed. These three comes by default with every WordPress installation. And then what you want to do is to click on add new and then search for theme. To find a theme for what you want to do, if you're building a business website, you could just search for business. For an e-commerce website, you could search for e-commerce store, basically keywords that relate with what you're trying to do. But for this, we know the name of the theme we want to use, and that is Storefront. And Storefront is the default WooCommerce theme. So it's a theme by the WooCommerce team that is just basically designed for online store. Now, it's not compulsory to use this. There are other free themes that I like. There are themes like eStore, which are free, and all the themes you see here within the WordPress dashboard, all of them are free, and there are thousands of them. and some of them are even better than paid themes. But some paid themes are also better than most of them. All right. So there are tons of themes to choose from. So what you need to do is to find one that meets your need. Some of the ways you could find a theme, you could do a Google search for best free WooCommerce themes, but the fastest free WooCommerce themes, basically keywords that relates with what you want, and you're going to see, because WooCommerce and WordPress are so popular, you're going to see blog posts about themes people have tested, and then you can also choose the one that has the look and layout that you want. So the important thing about choosing the theme is what is the look, what's the layout, what does it want? So you can see this one store, it has a banner, and then it has new arrival. So you can use this preview, this screenshot of the theme to see what it's going to look like. So there are tons of them to choose from. And you can also search for store, basically keywords that relate with what you're trying to build. But since we know the name of what the one we want, which is storefront, I'm just going to go with that. So storefront, and then we're going to click install, and then give it a few seconds to finish installing. In my experience, this basically just takes a few seconds, and I think like you've noticed, is probably because of my connectivity that it's even taking what I feel is long, because in my experience, it doesn't take this long. And once you've installed it, you've seen this, it has changed to activate because it's been installed. And what you want to do is to click on activate there, and you're going to notice that the layout of your website is going to change. So if you go to the tab that we had our site open, and if we refresh it, you're going to see that there are going to be changes to our website. You've seen we now have a shopping cart icon here, and then you've seen that things have changed, but we still don't have content. And I'm going to show you one trick, which is one of the things I advise people to do when you're building a store for the first time, and that is using demo content. So most teams are what we call demo contents, and those demo contents allow you to, quickly import demo content that allow your website to quickly look like what you see on the screenshot of the team. And then from there, you can now change things, change the contents to your liking, to what you want. All right. So to do that with storefront, now the process to do that differs on team. And the good thing about team is that every team has a documentation. So let's say you select 2022 team, you can just say Google for 2022 team documentation. If you decide to use storefront, you can also search for storefront team documentation, and then you're going to see the installation and configuration, and then it's going to show you how you can set up storefront. It's good to know this thing. Every team has a documentation, and that documentation shows you see it says go to appearance, themes, add new, which was how we used to install it in the first place. It says type storefront and search for it, and it's going to show you how to set up the theme to look like storefront itself. But because I know how to do this, I'm not going to use the documentation, but it's important that you do, since you're setting up your store for the first time. All right, so what we want to do now is to go to where it says storefront. We just want to click on it and look at what it says. It says design your store, create a homepage using storefront homepage template, add example products, which is going to be great for us because it's going to add some demo contents, demo products that we can build our store on. We can just move on from there. So let's click, all what you need to do is to click on let's go, and storefront is going to automatically import, demo content. All right. So where it's not advisable to use demo content is that your store is not a new store. If there are contents on your web store already, you don't need demo content. If there are contents on your store, on your website, you don't need demo content. But if you're just setting it up afresh on a clean slate, you need demo content. So I hope that is clear. And it's also not compulsory to use demo content. The idea behind demo content is that you want to quickly see things looking like the demo you saw. And with WordPress, when you're using the customizer, which is where we are now, is where you customize your site. You can see preview of what your site looks like at that instant. So you see, it says, welcome to the customizer. Here you can control the overall look and feel of your store. To get started, let's add your logo. So it can come to either site identity here, or you can just click let's go. If you're doing this for the first time, it's good to just follow this guided tour, and it just takes you to the different parts for the different things you need to do. So it says add your logo. Remember earlier on, I said we can always change our store title, the site title. Let me show you. So you can see that this is the other tab we have. You can see that if I move my cursor over the tab, it says my first online store, shop now. That is the site title. You can also see the site title showing here. We can change that under site identity. So we can say my first online store, we can change it to something else, but I can't think of something to change it to. But I can change this to shop the best pro dogs and just add an exclamation mark to this. If you have a logo, you can add a logo to your site. Do I have a logo? Or let's see if we can find a logo, store logo PNG. Just trying to see if I can find a quick logo I can use to I'm not seeing something I like. Let's see. Do I like these? Okay. The idea, the whole essence of this is just that you get the concept, and I'm sure you do. Nope, I don't like that. Let's just go with these. Okay, let's see if this will do. And we're just going to go back to the tab where we have our website. And you can come here, select logo, and then just upload your logo. And we can say select. And WordPress also has an interface to crop your logo. If you wish to crop it, if you don't want to crop it, you just select skip cropping. But for us, it's important to crop this since there's a whole lot of white spaces up and down. And I don't want this text that says tagline here. And I'm just going to say crop image, and then it's going to crop that and add it for me. And if you click next, it's going to show you the next thing you can do. Customize your navigation menus, which are simply these. And if you go to menus and then do that, it's going to also show you the next step. But I'm just going to click skip this since I know what I want to do. But if you also just follow this, so it just guides you on the things to do. All right, so you've seen that we've seen our logo change right here, and we've seen exactly how our store is going to look like. And one key thing you need to know is that to save all these changes we are making here, we have to click on publish to save the changes. And then if you go to our website and refresh it, the changes are going to reflect because we've published it. So if you can see, our store looks like exactly what we saw. You see, there are demo products that we imported. You can see demo products that we had imported, are now showing up. So we're going to tweak this up a bit to make it look like a real shop and add some new products. So you see how to add products, add a payment method, set up shipping methods, and something to just make this look like a real store. So okay, before we get started, I would like to know, does anyone have any question at this point before we just move in? All right, so I'm guessing you're saving questions for later. So let's go ahead, let's continue. So I'm going to just get back to our WP admin, just so that we can start this step again, so you see how you can do this. So this is our WordPress dashboard, which we go by. Please go ahead.
Okay, so please, I want to appreciate you for all that you do for this community. So secondly, Sunday, the first thing you did was to install the cPanel, right? If I get you rightly.
No, you don't install cPanel. cPanel comes default with the hosting plan. So what you do is to get the login details. We installed WordPress.
So you install the WordPress first. So, and then the next step was to get the plugin, the WooCommerce plugin, right?
That's correct.
So you can use any team, or there is specific team you have
The
to use,
team,
or do you have to
there's
use
no
a
there's
team
no
first
specific
before-
team. The bottom line is that you should be able to choose a team that is ideal for your project. So the team is what do I want my layout to do? What do I want the look of my site to look like? Am I building an online store? How should an online store look? So you choose a team for an online store that has the layout you want. Am I building a business site? I don't want e-commerce features. I choose a team that matches what I want.
Okay, so which should come first? Is it to install the team first before the plugin, or the plugin before the team?
You can do whatever way you like. It doesn't really matter which is done first.
Okay.
But
Okay,
the
right.
good thing, why I like to install the plugin, for instance, if I'm doing demo content, I like to install the plugin that has the e-commerce feature before the team, so that if I'm importing demo content, it will be able to also import products.
Okay, I see.
Because if your site does not have the functionality for products, then if it cannot import products, so you need that functionality first. So that's why I like to do the e-commerce plugin before the team.
Okay, so going forward, then you now tweak the site from the plugin, not from the team.
You now tweak the site from the team. The plugin does not control site design. Only the team controls the site design. The plugin brings in functionality, the e-commerce functionalities. Team controls anything layout, anything look of site.
Oh, because I'm trying to, because there are other plugins that will still be installed.
Plugins are for features. Plugins add features. We could add shopping cart. We could add payment features. Team controls the look. So it's just like your team, that your phone, that we have teams on phone. And on your Android iPhone, if you change the theme, you notice that the look of the icons, the look of the the entire phone changes. So team controls layout. Plugins is like what you have on the app stores. It could be the Bible app, it could be the game app, it could be the different apps. Those bring in features. They don't change the look, of your phone.
Okay, so one needs to get a team. I mean, an e-commerce team. That should come.
If you're building an e-commerce website, of course, you're going to need an e-commerce team.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to dive in and then take more questions at the end. All right. So the next thing we want to do is to make this look like a real store. And for a real store, you need to have menus, that help guide people, when they are shopping. So what we want to do is to, work on our navigational menu, because I normally would like to work on site from the top down. And you've seen we've added our logo, so we just keep making changes from the top to the bottom. So where we want to go is to go to, you can create a few content that we want to add to our menu. So let's say, for instance, if we want to add product categories to our menu, it means we have to have those product categories. So we can go to products, categories, and then we can click new categories. So just like on online store, you see different categories. You can see maybe categories for t-shirts, categories for shoes, categories for electronics. You can see that WooCommerce added some default categories: accessories, hoodies, t-shirts. We can edit these and change the name, or we can just delete them if we don't want them. But let's go ahead and add some new categories. So let's say I want to shoes. I can add shoes and I can describe this. So you can say my shoe category or whatever description, whatever describes your shoes. And I could add an image to represent the shoe categories. If I have an image of a shoe, I can upload it here, but I don't have an image of a shoe. I just want you to understand the concept. So I'm just going to use any of the images I have here. And if you're wondering where these images came from, when our team added some demo contents, including the images. So I'm going to click add new category. And I could decide to create other categories. So let's say I have other shoes categories that I want to be under this. So let's say it could be slippers. I could just say or high quality slippers as a description. I'm not going to complete that. I just want you to get the idea of the concept. And I can say the parent category is shoes, which means this is just going to be, this is just to, upset hierarchy. And then I could say high quality. I'm going to go ahead and find any random image and the idea is that you understand the concept, and then I'm going to click add new category. And then I can also do something like clothes. Select an image for clothes. Can add a description if I want to. I can leave that empty, but I'm just going to copy this and paste here, and then add new category. So categories just basically help you categorize the different stuff you have. Just like when you go to a store, you see electronics, you see headset, you see different things, and then all the contents in there relate. That's what categories, help you do. And now if we go to appearance and we go to menus, we can, arrange our navigational menus how we want it to be. So we're just going to first create. The first thing you have to do is that you have to create a menu. So I can say you can call this anything. So you can say home menu, navigational menu, whatever. And then we can click create menu to create it. And then after that, we had what we want to be the contents of the menu. So what do we want to add? Or like to add this page. So you select, you can see here that there are different items you can add from pages to posts, custom links, categories, WooCommerce endpoints. So we can select what we want to add. Then we click add to menu. Can go to categories, click view all to see all our categories. Okay, so this is showing product categories, not WooCommerce categories. But we can add our WooCommerce categories as links. So we can go to products, go back to categories, and then we can get the direct links to the different categories. So we can say shirts. If you click view, this is going to help you view the category. But if you also right click and copy the link to the category, so you can click copy link address, or we can view it and then copy the link that is on the address bar. So we can copy this, and then if we go to menus, we can add custom links, URL, we paste our URL, link text, t-shirts, we click add to menu. There's another important custom link we need to add, which is the URL of our website. And then we're going to press this here, and then we're going to say home. So there's a button that takes people to our home page. And you can drag and drop to rearrange it. Normally home should be the first. So we are going to drag home up. Shop, this is a default page by WooCommerce that shows all the products on your site. And my account is going to keep this here. We can also create sub menus. So we can put this under this if we want. We can put this under this if we want. And now we have home, shop, t-shirts. We can add more. Let's say we want to add shoes. So we can add menu. We can add shoes, add to menu. And we can also add subcategories under shoes. So this can be slippers. Oops, I copied the text, not the URL. So let me copy the direct link. Click add to menu. And I just noticed that we added clothes under shoes as a subcategory. You can see that this here just indicates, this dash here didn't indicate that this is appearing under this. But clothes is not supposed to be under shoes. So we can edit this and then just indicate it to say none, which means it does not have any parent category, and then we can click update. And we can, once we are satisfied with what we have here, we have shoes. We can also decide to make shoes a subcategory, slippers a subcategory of shoes. And you're going to see the difference between a parent category and subcategory when you're adding it to menu, how you can arrange them. And we're going to select this to be our primary menu and handheld menu. Or we can just select, this is the only menu we have, so you can select it for all locations. This here determines where these menu items appear. So for instance, handheld menu is the menu that shows up on mobile. You can always play around with this to see how it works. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and click Save Menu. If we go to our website now and then we refresh, you're going to see that the navigational menus are going to change to what we have set. So you've seen Shop, T-shirts, My Account, and then we see we added Cart and Checkout as a sub menu. So you can see My Account, Cart, and Checkout are under this. So they're going to be a sub menu. Shoes is under, slippers is under shoes. So you're going to see it's going to appear as a sub menu. And if we click on Shop, it's going to take us to a shop page which WooCommerce creates by default. And what it does is it automatically shows every new product we create, we automatically add it to the shop page. We go to T-shirts, it's going to take us to the T-shirts category, which was imported by WooCommerce. And if we go to shoes, it's going to show shoes. We've not added products yet. If we click slippers, it's going to take us to the slippers category. And then you see it has shown the description we had here. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is just to add a few products. So just you can see contents in the shoes and slippers category. So let's go back to our site, get back to our dashboard again. And to add a product, you can add a product by going to New Year and clicking Product, or you can go to Products and click Add New. But first, let's go to Products or All Products. This takes you to the same place. All Products is just going to show us all the products we have on our website. So we've not added any product ourselves, but remember that WooCommerce imported some demo products to the site. So you can see the demo contents that we added by WooCommerce. We can delete these if we don't want them. If we want to delete all of them at once, we just check here and then it selects everything. We can uncheck the ones we don't want to delete. And then we come to where it says bulk action, move to trash, and I click apply, and it's going to delete them. But I don't want to delete them for now, since it gives our website a bit of shape and makes it look like we have some content. All right, so we're going to add new products. So you can add new products by clicking add new year or new products, but let's click add new since we're already here. And the first thing you want to do is to decide what type of products are you trying to create. All right, so is it a physical product or a digital product? If it's a physical product, first you have to enter the product name. And the same thing applies to a digital product, you have to enter the name. So so let's say we want to sell a shoe. Let's say Nike. Let me find a product for a shoe. Nike Air Force One. I want to find a shoe that we can see the quality image quickly. I think we can use these. I think we can use this. So let's save these. I don't have these images saved. So we just downloaded one. So let's see what's the name again. Nike Air Force One. So we can just put that Nike Air Force One. We can add WooCommerce allows for two types of description. This is where you had the long description. Because of time, I'm going to copy some default text, which is just, there are generators that help you generate random text you can use. So you can say for lorem or GoPrim, and I'm just going to copy this and paste here. This is the long description for the product, where you have, if you have a long detail about the product, you can add it, and you can format it, bold the part that you want, using this editor, add images, different information you want, and then you can scroll down and you need to decide what type of product is it. Is it a simple product? A simple product is a product that does not have variation. When we say a product does not have variation, we simply mean it does not have size. So let's say you just have one of these shoes. You don't have different sizes. You don't have small, large, and and so on. So it's just a simple product. And is it a product that requires? Is it a virtual product? Virtual product means the product does not require shipping. So if it's virtual, we take this. That means there's not going to be shipping information. If it's a downloadable product, let's say you want to sell an ebook, just click downloadable here, but we're going to do that later. So I show you how you can actually do that. But for now, let's assume this is a simple product and you are going to add a price. Let's say this sells for, normally, I think this goes for about 40,000, or I think 30 as at the last time I checked. And then we can, but we are doing promo. So we want to have do sales, want to discount it. So we can say we want to sell it for 25,000. You can also decide to, that's 2,500. You can decide to also schedule the sales, when it's going to start and when it's going to end. Just click on the calendar and you select your dates. When I'm canceling that. There's also an inventory option here that allows you to put an SKU. SKU is just basically a default code, a code to help you identify the product. You may not need that. And manage stock. Manage stock allows you to select, input the stock quantity. How many of these do you have? Do you have 50? Do you have 20? So let's say we have 10 of these. Do you want to allow back orders when the product finishes? You can click yes, allow but notify customer. What that does is that if you set this to 10 and people finish buying the 10, they can't buy again unless back order is enabled. So what back order does is that it allows people to buy it ahead of when you have it in stock. Low stock threshold. When should you get notification? For instance, what it does is that if you set it to 2 or 3 or 5, that means that once 5 is remaining, you're going to get an email telling you that just 5 of this product is left that you should restock. Enable this to sold individually. You enable this if you want people to only be able to buy 1 unit of this. So you don't want people to be able to increase the quantity and buy up to 5 of these. Maybe because you have limited stock and you want everyone just to be able to buy 1. If you enable this, a customer is not going to be able to increase the quantity to buy 2 or 3. And then the shipping, which asks you for weight, shipping class, this we'll go into in detail. But this basically allows you to impute information like if this has a weight, dimension, and so on. Link product allows you to upsell and cross-sell, which is something you can read about. But what it does is basically just promote other product on the page. And we're going to go to attributes later. Advanced, you may not even really use this. Purchase note is if you want to add a note to the order when someone buys it. And many other allows you to control the position of this product on your shop. Enable reviews. Do you want people to be able to review this product? Get more options is WooCommerce upselling, trying to get you to buy extension that can help you, add additional features to your store. All right. And there's also the short description. And I'm going to put my short description just because I want you to see the difference between the long description and short description. And there are places by the side here. If you don't see the right hand side, there's the place that says product image and product gallery. Product image is where you put, let me put the image here so you see what it does. It's where you put the thumbnail, the product thumbnail. The first image you see, maybe you're going to an online store, the first image you see of the product is the product image. And the product gallery is when you're on that product page, the additional images that you see that shows you different looks of the product is the gallery images. I'm going to add random images here. And with gallery images, you can add multiple images. I'm just going to add some random images here, just basically because I want to show you, I want you to understand the concept of this. And tags you may not really use, but this just help you, differentiate and categorize product and their categories itself. So since this is a shoe, we put it in the shoes category. So if someone is on our shoes category, they're going to see this as part of our shoes. And the next thing we want to do now is to click on publish. And once you click publish, it's going to publish our product. And if you go to our store, we're actually going to see our product. All right, so we can do here and click on visit site. And then we are going to go visit our site. You can see new in, this is now showing Nike Air Force One. And remember that we had put the sales price 25K, so that crossed this. And then it says that it's on sale. So we had put the sale price. And if we click on it to view the product, we are going to see the additional information we had added. So it says my short description. This allows you to just put a very short description, which is the one you put at the bottom is just a short description that quickly describes the product. And the other one we had imputed at the top here is where we had the long one, which allows you to put detailed information about the product. And if we scroll down, we are going to see the long description where it is, just right here. And if this product was reviewed, if you click here, we are going to see the review, but there are no reviews now. But you could just add one. Just say my first review, and then it's just going to be, okay, we have not rated, we need to rate it, and then we submit, and then it's just going to appear on the product page. And you can also say that reviews you require approval. So as a admin, you approve the review before they go up. And you can see the category is in shoes. And if you come to our menu and we click on shoes, we're going to see that there is going to be new products in our shoes category. So that's how you create a simple product, and you can just keep on creating more products, adding it to different categories. With WooCommerce, there's actually no limit to the number of products you can have. So it's actually unlimited, because WooCommerce does not put any restriction when it has to do with your store. All right. Okay. So because of time, I'm just going to cover simple products for today. But as we go on, I'm going to show you how to create other product type. There's what we call variable product. And that's how you create product that has different options. The product that has size. So you can have small, you can have large, you can have medium. And when someone comes, they will be able to select the one they want to buy. So the next thing I want to do for this to look like a real online shop is to go back to our home page and then make a few changes. So we can click edit page to edit this. But because I want you to know where all pages are in WordPress, I'm going to show you through the backend, through our WP admin. So I'm going to go to pages, all pages, and that is where you're going to see all the pages on our site. Now, these were created for us. These, the blog, the cart page, checkout, home page, my account. And there's a draft privacy policy and response policy page. There's a sample page. So all these pages were created for us. We can also create new pages. We can click add new. And this could be, this could be any page we want. It could be about where we want to, just put some information about our shop. So if someone comes, they know what the shop is about. So to do that, just click add new page, and you can say about or about us, depending on what you want. And you can type text here. We are your one-stop shop. So you can add different information. You can add images. You can click the plus sign here and then you type in what you want to add. If you want to add an image, you can click image, and then it's going to allow you to add image. All right. So I'm just going to publish this and go back again. Let's go to our store. All right. I wanted to edit our home page. So what we need to do is to go and find the page that is called our home page, which any page can be our home page. Even if we call it home, the name does not really determine where it is, what page it is. What determines what it is the settings. So we can decide to set any page as our home page, but since we're using the storefront team, we just created an home page and set that page as our home page. So we can edit this to change the content of the page, to change the content of our home page. And if we edit our home page, we are going to see all the contents that we can actually see on our home page. So when it has to do with a store, a site, the home page is simply the first page you see when you visit the site. So if you visit sonthecrafter.com, the first page you see is actually what is called the home page. So you can see here and you can see all the text. So this says welcome and all that. So you can just click on anything you wish to change and change it. So I can change this to my first online store. So I can say, welcome to first store. Here you can shop for the best products online. And I don't want this, I can just delete this by clicking delete or backspace on your keyboard. I can change this image. To change the image, just select this image here, just select it, just click on it. And then you can click replace here, open media library or upload. So if you have an existing image in your media library, you can select the image. You can also upload an image, but I don't have another image, so I'm just going to leave that. You can see the different areas on our store, and we can take out any area we don't want. So let's assume that we don't want this fan favorite. So we can just hit backspace on our keyboard or click delete on Mac to take it out. And then we can also click these three eclipses here. You can click these and click remove heading, and then it takes that out. So you can remove the things you don't need and then just keep the ones you need. And WooCommerce has what is called blocks that helps you customize your store. So you can add product blocks by clicking the plus sign, and then you can search for maybe products. There are different blocks. To any part, to your page, to your site. But those are things we have to cover in detail later on. See. Are we still connected? Can someone confirm we are still connected?
Yes, we are still connected.
Yes, we are here.
Hello? All right,
You're
I'm not seeing
connected, you're
the
connected.
option to update here, which means my network is bad. So I was just trying to be sure that I'm still connected. So normally when you make changes here, you have to click update here to save the changes, and it shows you when an update is required. So make sure you always click update to save changes. If not, you notice that nothing you've done will be saved. I'm not sure my changes have been saved because I'm not seeing the update button because of my connection. Okay, yeah, you've seen it shows update now, finally. So if I click update, it's going to show me that changes have been saved. And if I go and I refresh, you're going to see that the changes are going to take effect immediately. And people from across the world who visit your site are going to see the changes instantly. That's the good thing with WooCommerce. All right, so I think with this, we have what we can call an online store. You know how you can create the product, you know how you can create the different product categories. What we want to do is to quickly set up shipping method and then add payment method, and then we test this. So we are going to go to WooCommerce, go to settings, because that's where we need to do some settings for our store. Okay, so the first settings we want to do is the general options, which allows us to select locations we are selling to. Do we want to sell to every country in the world? We can select sell to all countries, or we can just select sell to a specific country and we can say Nigeria. Okay, let me show you the difference. First, I'm going to add a product to the cart and then just pretend like I'm going to check out, add to cart. You still need gets added to the cart immediately because this hosting is actually extremely fast. And if you click view cart, you can see our cart and the cart total. If you can increase item in our cart, update it, you see the price will automatically update. You can proceed to checkout and you see everything happens with one click because of how fast our hosting is. You can type in our name, but you see now it says there are no payment methods and there are also no shipping methods because we've not set those up. But I wanted to show you countries/region. Because of we are selling to all countries are available in this drop down. But if we go and then we're selecting that we are selling only to Nigeria, and then maybe we want to ship to just Nigeria, ship to all countries, ship to specific countries only. You can also disable shipping if you don't want it. So you can also say ship to specific countries only, and then we can also enter the countries we want to ship to, maybe just Nigeria, depending on the store. If you want to sell globally, leave it open to globally, but for just this, for the purpose of this meetup, I'm just going to select Nigeria. And if we go back to our checkout page and we refresh, you're going to see that something is going to be different. You see that it defaults to Nigeria. People don't have to select their country because we are selling to only Nigeria. So WooCommerce is smart enough to just detect Nigeria only, no additional options to select, and people just have to select their state only. So the next thing we're going to do is let's enable tax rate and calculation so that we can actually, okay, let's leave that. Let's go ahead and let's set up shipping just to speed things up a bit. So we need, with WooCommerce, to create shipping methods, you have to have what is called a shipping zone. And shipping zone helps you categorize, the different areas you ship to. So since we are selling to Nigeria, we can add a shipping zone for Nigeria. So we can call this Nigeria, or we can call this whatever we want to call it. It doesn't matter. This is just to help us identify our zone. It doesn't show on the front end. And we can select regions. What regions in Nigeria is this applicable to? If we are doing this zone just for Abia, we can just call it Abia. And then we can create another one. We can create Abuja, we can create Lagos, New York, San Francisco, if this is by state. But if it's just general for the whole of the United States or the whole of Nigeria, you can just call it Nigeria. This is just to help you identify. And the zone regions is where you select where you want this zone to apply to. So this can be for different locations, or this can be for the whole of Nigeria. Shipping methods is where you add the shipping method. So let's say I want to add flat rate shipping. Flat rate shipping is basically a flat rate, for items. So once you add the method, you click edit, and then you add the rate. What's the cost for this rate? Let's say I want to charge people 1,000 Naira for shipping across Nigeria, or let's say 2,000 Naira for all shipping across Nigeria. I can just add 2,000 Naira here and click save changes. And I can also add other shipping method. And notice that all this comes by default with WooCommerce. We didn't have to install any plugin. So I can also add free shipping and then add it. And I can edit it. And then what does free shipping require? Do people need to use a valid free shipping coupon? Do they need a minimum order amount or a minimum order amount or coupon? Just the rules. I could say before somebody gets free shipping, their order should be up to 20K, or let it be just at least 10K. So that means that somebody's order has to be up to 10K. Should they take into consideration coupon discount? Is it after the coupon discount? Should the order still be up to 10K before they get free shipping? This is all what this is saying. But we want to offer free shipping on orders that are up to 10K, even if they use coupon or not. So with that, we can do save changes. Do we want people to pick up maybe on our store, our shop, or at our shipping centers? Then we can do local pickup and then add shipping method, and then we can edit. Do we want to charge people for using the shipping method? Do we want it to be free? Depending on what we want. If we want it to be free, since they are picking up themselves, we can make this cheaper. We could say 500, since we still have to ship it to our pickup center. So the pickup center could be for different locations. So let's say if you are created different zones, Lagos, you could call it Lagos Pickup Center. You can call it different depending on the pickup center it is, and you can save changes. And notice that as you do this, the changes are saved immediately. If you go back to our checkout, and let's do something else. Let's add a payment method, so we'll know that we're actually done for now. To add a payment method, we simply need to go to payments. And WooCommerce also comes by default with a couple of other payment methods. So it comes with direct bank transfer, check payments, and cash on delivery. And we can also add online payment extension, online payment method using extensions like Paystack, which I'm going to show us how to set this up in a subsequent meetup. But for now, we're going to enable this direct bank transfer and cash on delivery. To enable this, we just need to click on setup and then cash on delivery. So we can just put the title, what we want it to be for. We check this to enable it. And then we can put the description I want to describe it here. And then we can select what shipping method do we want people to be able to use this for. Is it when they are using flat rate? Is it when they are using free shipping? Or is it when they are using local pickup? So we can select the shipping method we want this to actually apply to. And do we also want to accept cash on delivery for virtual orders? Virtual orders are orders that do not require delivery. They don't require shipping. So we can actually uncheck this for those type of orders. So we save changes and we're going to go to payments again. Enable another payment method. We can enable direct bank transfer. And then we just click here to enable it. We can put instructions for the direct bank transfer. And we can put our account details. I can put my account name, Sunday. Can put my account number. Zero two three 9193287. Bank name could be GTB. You don't need sort code, IBAN, and you only need this for international transfers. So since this is not an international transfer, we can leave it. So we can add instruction. Say you can say use your order number as reference. So somebody, if they're doing a transfer, they just enter their order number as a reference, just to help us quickly know what this is about, and then we can click save changes. And what I'm going to do now is I want to go to my cart and I want to just empty my cart so we can start afresh and actually see how everything works. So I'm going to click X here to empty my cart, and you're going to see my cart is empty. I'm going to return to our shop and we're going to buy products. So we can buy products either from the shop page or from our own page. Let's add a few products to our cart. So I'm going to go for a belt. I like face caps, so I'm going to pick one of these. And who doesn't love hoodies? So I'm going to go and pick one of these hoodies. I like the ash color one, so I'll pick one of it. Oh, and of course I love this Nike shoes. So I'm going to add one of it. Add a glass just to touch up my look. And I can go to the cart to either here or clicking view cart. I can go to the cart to see, what I'm actually buying and review it and see if I want to increase the quantity. Do I want to use a coupon to discount these? Let's create a coupon for the fun of it, this to make this more interesting. So we can go to, first we need to go to general, that's WooCommerce settings, and then we just need to check if coupon is enabled on our site. So enable the use of coupon, this has been enabled. So we can go to marketing, coupons, and then we can actually create the coupon. So let's create our first coupon. We click create your first coupon. We can click here to generate coupon code, or we can give it a name. So we can call it Woo or Woo discount, depending on what we want to call it, or we can use random numbers. We can describe it just to help us keep tracks of our coupon. So we can say our first coupon, and we can set the rules that apply to it. What do we want to give? Do we want to give a percentage discount, fiscal discount, fixed product discount? So let's say we want to give 5% on the order. We can select this. Should this coupon give free shipping? It's totally dependent on us. So we can take this if we want. If somebody uses this coupon, they should get free shipping. When is this coupon expiring? So that means from the date we've set, people will not be able to use the coupon again. There's usage restriction, which can restrict the coupon usage, minimum spend, maximum spend. Do we want to limit it to a specific product categories? Do we want to limit it to a specific email, which is for a particular customer? And there are options like usage limit. Usage limit per coupon. Should this coupon only be able, how many times should people be able to use it? Is it just one? Are we limiting it to items? Are we limiting it to one per user? So all the rules we said are going to apply. We said limited to one per user. That means that each customer is only going to be able to use it once. So let's leave all this unchecked and then just copy the coupon and publish it. And let's go and try and use our coupon. You're going to see the interesting part that with WooCommerce, everything just happens immediately. So you can say coupon applied successfully. And then if we check our cart, you can say coupon Woo discount, and then it has shown the discount that the coupon gave us. We can remove the coupon from our orders if we want. And we can also choose our shipping method on the cart. So we can choose flat rate, We had set a 2K flat rate for the whole of Nigeria. We had added free shipping, and we had set our local pickup to cost 500 naira. And we can now proceed. We can choose which shipping method we want to use, and we can click proceed to checkout to go to our checkout, and we can enter our billing information. So let me enter my name, Sunday. We calculate our house number. Could just let me put the round number since it stays. So this could be Lagos. Okay, let me just use this guy. Phone number 0703-848-0011. My email. And do I want to ship this to my billing address, or do I want to ship this to a different address? I can ship this to a different address. Maybe you are buying for someone, or your billing address, because the billing address is normally used if you're doing card payment. The billing address is what is used for the card verification. So it can also be different from your shipping address depending on where your account was opened. Do I want to add a note? Do I want to tell them ship discreetly, or I'm only available on Saturdays? Just so the store knows how to deliver my order. What payment method do I want to use? Do I want to use direct bank transfer? Do I want to pay on delivery? Let's use direct bank transfer. And then you can click on place order. And then we're going to see what happened next. So you can see order received. Thank you, your order has been received. Our order number has been shown, the date, email, direct bank transfer, bank details, GT Bank. So, and if I go and check my email, let's hope that has been sent, because WooCommerce also automatically sends an email for the order. Let's hope it didn't go to, okay, this went to spam. So my first online store, new order, you can see this is the order information. You can see everything. Okay, that's the one for, I think there should be another one. So basically the other emails go automatically, and then you can see that the customer will be notified. And if I go to my account, you can see, you can update my information. I can see orders, and then it will show all my orders. We've only made one order. Downloads, if we had a digital product, I can download the product here. Address or addresses, I can update my addresses here. Account details, I can see some other information about my accounts. I can update this, change my password. I can also log out of my account. As the owner of the store, if you go back to WooCommerce orders, we're going to see our order and when it was placed. And we can click on the order to open it, and we're going to see, the order information, who placed it, the shipping address, and the payment method. And when this order is shipped, WooCommerce has different statuses for order. Now this is on hold because this is using a payment method that requires manual verification. So this is using bank transfer. So after we've received the payment and we've confirmed it, we can change the status to processing, and it's also going to automatically notify the customer with another email letting them know that the order is being processed. And once we've shipped it and we've delivered it, we can change the order status to completed. And if the customers, or before we ship it, the customer says they want the refund, they want to send it back, we can actually say, we can refund it, we can cancel when there are other different options. And each of these triggers an automatic email sending a notification to the customer immediately. All right, we can track all our coupons, and we can see reports, which is being replaced with analytics feature that gives us an overview of our shop. By the time it could take a little while for the analytics to build up, since it gives us an overview of our shop, and this is a new shop, so it's going to take a while. But you can see already it has picked 1 order. So here is going to show you all the information regarding all the orders in your shop. So including the demo contents that we are pulling. So look at the products that we sold. We sold 6 products in 1 order. And you can see all that here. You can see the net sales and all those accounting information. So I'm just going to wrap it up with that and take questions because of time, so we can, wrap it up for today and continue some other day. But the bottom line is that there's nothing you can learn with this method, but you have to understand that this is something that takes time. So what you can do for yourself is to attend subsequent meetups, because for every meetup, you're going to learn something new, and you're going to get to where you can, truly call yourself a professional when it has to do with these things. So I don't know, does anyone have question you would like me to address?
Sunday,
Yes, go ahead.
thank you very much once again. I understand that there was no time where you paid for the account we used, and is there a demo we can try out before making our choice?
Like with Ugo Host, a free trial you can try?
Yes.
No, there's no demo, but they okay. So you can buy an hosting with Ugo. I think they also allow you to get a refund within a month.
Okay, which one did you use now?
I used if you're building a real site, let's go. If you're building a real site, I recommend this or your WordPress site, the WordPress hosting. But if you just need something to train, something you can just pay for a year and just for training to practice, you can click get web hosting and get any of the regular hosting. The process is still going to be exactly the same thing. But this just gives you resources, which I don't think is really ideal for like e-commerce, because e-commerce uses more resources. So you can get any of these plans as demo. But for a real working e-commerce website, because it is more resource intensive, I recommend using the WordPress plans.
Okay, for a purpose of training, just like what you have done now, because I will want to try WooCommerce. I would like to do practice and all that. So I don't know if there's an account I could try. Just a demo account, just like, or did you pay for?
There's no demo. There's no demo account, but you could just do a month plan.
Okay.
You could just do a month plan and then use the discount code WOO to get some discounts, and then use that to play around.
Is that what you did now?
Does that make sense? Yeah, for this, I think I have a real account that I use for this. So with that, I use the WordPress plan.
Okay,
the real account actually.
Okay, you had a real account for it, for this particular one.
Yes. And it's one of the things I recommend, actually paying for real hosting, because it makes you serious. You know that, oh, I've paid for hosting, I need to practice. If I don't practice within this time frame, it's going to expire. So it actually, keeps you on your toe.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other question?
Yes, I have some.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I don't know. Can we combine Elementor with the storefront and WooCommerce?
Yes, you can. Elementor is a page builder for WordPress, and it's because of how I think I need to mute someone. So Elementor is a page builder for WordPress, and because of how popular WooCommerce is, page builders are building their page builder to be compatible with WooCommerce. So Elementor has a WooCommerce builder that allows you to build and customize your WooCommerce store in a drag and drop interface. So if you are familiar with Elementor, you can actually use Elementor to build, your WooCommerce store. WooCommerce is just going to offer the e-commerce functionality, and Elementor is just going to offer the design, the layout.
Oh, okay. The storefront is the theme that we used.
Storefront is theme, but with Elementor, since it's a page builder, Elementor is not really theme dependent, because with Elementor you have the different widgets that makes up your store. So Elementor, you can use Elementor and still use the storefront theme, or you can use the Hello theme if you're using Elementor Pro. So storefront is also really recommended, so you can use Elementor and use the storefront theme. All right, anyone else?
You were muting me, so I couldn't.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, I was muting you because of there's a bit of noise coming from your end. Sorry about that.
And I'm alone here. Okay. So I just want to be sure because I'm familiar with Elementor. So once I have Elementor, I will still need. Do I still need to install the storefront plugin alongside WooCommerce?
Every site needs a team. So even if you use Elementor, you're going to need a team and you're going to need WooCommerce.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think I get that clearly. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Oh, so I'll say I've been crystal clear. If you guys don't have questions after about 2 hours, it means I've been super and crystal clear. All right, so if you're joining us for the first time, don't forget to reach out to me on WhatsApp and let me know. I would love to, follow up with you and guide you even as you go through all this. I also like to be able to add you to our group so you can also ask questions when you have them. So I'm going to drop my number in the chat. Please save it. My name is Sunday Calfio. Feel free to message me on WhatsApp. All right, so before we call it a day, is there any other question? Because we are. Taiwo, your voice is a bit low, but it feels like you're trying to ask a question. Okay. Taiwo, are you speaking?
Mr. Sunday. This is David speaking. David is here. I
All right,
want to
David.
appreciate you for the class and God bless you more. I understand everything. If you have an account, so I will be practicing. If I have any question, I'm already in your group. I will ask you. Thank you for the lecture. I really appreciate it. God bless you.
You're welcome, David. All right. So before we wrap up, any other question?
Yeah, Sunday, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you now, Taiwo.
All right, yeah. What I've come to realize with using WooCommerce with Elementor, is that I think it has pro version also. You don't get most of the features when using Elementor as in WooCommerce on. So how do we get over that?
There are no two ways about it. Elementor, the pro version is what has the WooCommerce builder, which gives you more e-commerce features. We always have to take into consideration that building softwares like that, or in general, costs a lot of money, and having access to the pro gives you features and then allow the company to also continue building Elementor itself. So if Elementor is a page builder you're interested in using professionally, it's an investment that you should make, and then with that you also be able to use it. But the free version, if you want to use the free version, you can also look at teams, teams, and some of them come with some free functionalities that still allows you to use Elementor to build your site. But if you want to use Elementor fully with all the features it gives, we are going to need the pro version.
All right, thank you.
All right, I think Enekan has his hand up. Enekan, please go ahead. Okay, I'm seeing Enekan's hand, but he's not speaking, so I'm going to lower his hand. All right, any other question before we wrap it up? We are 10 minutes, a few minutes past the time we are supposed to end this.
I sent you a WhatsApp for you to add me to the WooCommerce group.
All right, I will do that. Enekan, you have a question? I'm seeing your hand again.
Hi, this is not Enekan, this Steven. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. My question is, now after learning and after getting all this knowledge, where can you get clients who will be needing your services so you could build something similar for them? So in some way I'm asking,
okay, Enekan network is working, so I'm going to meet him, but I get the question. So where can you get clients who need services? And normally Okay, Nick, can type that in the comment while I try to address it because your network is breaking. So type that in the comment. But what I understand is that you're asking where one can get clients. And I normally would like to say that clients are everywhere because these days everyone is trying to get online. But one of the mistakes we also do is that people wait for clients. So one, clients are everywhere. So one, the people around you, the boutiques around you, the shops around you, what are they doing? They are selling and they need more avenues to sell. So walk up to them, let them know that they can sell online. So there are clients around on. And then you also have to be able to treat this as a business, which means as a business, there are things businesses do. You need to market. So how can you do? Do you have flyers telling people what you do? Are you promoting your? What are you writing on your social media? What are you writing on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram? Do people know that this is what you do? Or are you having Buhari as if you are Buhari's aide or one of these politicians, they are, their assistant? So you have to also talk about what it is you do online. People need to know what you do. And they also paid adverts online on Facebook. So you have to also see how to brand yourself as a business and start doing what businesses do. Businesses advertise, businesses promote, run promotions to promote their offerings. So you have to run promotion to promote the things you do. And one of the things I do is that I've never been a fan of waiting for clients, waiting for people to contact me. So ever since my early years in web design, what I've been doing is I create projects of my own. So I have projects that give me money on a daily basis, which is outside the scope of this. But a tip when they have to do with e-commerce is that there are stores around you and they are selling products. And if you go to these stores and then you partner with them, you take proper pictures of these products, you build the shop, put the products and promote. When people order online, let's say these shops are selling 10K and you're selling online for 15K plus shipping or depending on what you want to sell. And when people buy this product, you go to the shop and you get the product, you pay them their own, and you send this product to the people who purchase. It's a win-win. Shops are always looking for this type of partnerships, most especially our brothers from a certain region that just really want to sell and just want people who want to promote their products and help them. So you can get these products, build this shop, and then sell the product without even waiting for customers to pay you to build online stores. So those are ideas, those are things you can do instead of just waiting for clients. Identify shops, what product do they have, pick some nice products, create a shop, put them, advertise those products on Facebook, people buy, you get them from those shops, you send, people pay, you get your money, the shops get their own money. So with that, it's a win-win. All right, so that's all I can take for today. Feel free to message me on WhatsApp if you're joining us for the first time. And if you have more questions, please ask it on the WooCommerce Lagos WhatsApp group. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. And the next step for those who want to take this to the next level, who want to practice, go ahead and get your hosting plan on Google Host and let me know when that is done so I can guide you, personally on setting up your shop. And the coupon code to use for discount is WOO. All right. Thanks, guys, and bye for today. That is all we can cover because of time.
God bless you for all you
Bye,
do.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to end this because knowing you guys, from my experience with meetups, I have to end